Hello and well, happy Friday. Still got an hour left of Friday. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a brief semi-overnighter. I'm your host. I'm William. I'm simulcasting on both the Poindexter Lounge and the Sci-Fi Center's YouTube channel. So while you're at it, while you're here, while you're watching this, either right now or delayed, please hit like and subscribe on both channels. Let's see what we got here. How you doing, Tim? I'm still waiting for people to trickle in because I have not gotten my notification that I am even live yet, although I am clearly live. So it's like I said, I don't. I think this is going to be a StreamYard issue all the time. I am, like I said, I think this is going to be my last month using StreamYard. I'll have to figure out when I simulcast on Poindexter Lounge how to. Hopefully, somehow, some way, I'm pretty sure there's a way to make OBS and Streamlabs compatible with StreamYard so that I can stream on both networks. Because, like I said, one of the I'm kind of like had it up to here with StreamYard. It's not, it was cool when I was just first starting out, but I'm going a little bit on all different directions, and I need something more. And I also need something a little bit more efficient sometimes. Like I said, the delays and things like that, kind of like, especially this late at night, you just want to get things going. All right. How are you doing, Aaron? What's going on? So, while you guys are here, I have the link. We are doing a Patreon stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So, for all of my people that are on Patreon, the ones who can make it, I've already put that. I will be putting that link into the member chat in the Patreon member chat, so you guys can join me. You guys will be my co-host tomorrow afternoon. Did not get a chance to do it today because I've had some power issues at the store, AC issues and breaker issues that are being worked on tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully they are done by the time we get to the overnighter, the Saturday overnighter, because I really, really do like doing that show from the Sci-Fi Center. I do not like doing that show at home. Even if I, had my avatar and everything not up and just my real face, I like the way the show looks from the Sci-Fi Center more than I do just here doing it this way. So yeah, join the Patreon if you can. We are still next week. September 13th was the deadline I gave. So if we reach 20 patrons, well, at least I would suffer through Howard the Duck. Ugh. Right now, it looks like we're pretty safe unless there's a big swell of Patreon signups. But even with the average, who knows? I still think there's going to be a last minute surge because people just want to see me put through it. Hey, what's going on, Fourth? How you doing, Jacob? So yeah, so one of the things I forgot to put into the thumbnail because we're doing the show tomorrow, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring up. I'll bring up the into my email. And email myself. Yeah, I got everything ready for the show tomorrow. So, but I did forget Godzilla because there's been two different Godzilla things that have been released since the last time we talked. So I will go over those, even though those are not in the thumbnail. I am going to go ahead and be talking about Godzilla Godzilla -1 from Toho, and then I'm also going to be talking about the me and Brad will be talking about the newest Godzilla promo that came from Legendary and Apple TV with the Monarch TV show that they're doing. So, and like I said, we have Kong X Godzilla coming up pretty soon. There's a lot of Godzilla coming up, but all right. So tomorrow night, this is the thumbnail for the show. Tomorrow night, this is what we will be talking about. We will be talking about, believe it or not, as somebody who really didn't have any use for Rebels, I don't. I guess I'm in the minority. I am enjoying Ahsoka. I did not think I would. I mean, I don't love it, I guess I have to be a fan of Rebels to really love it the way some of you guys do. But I like some of the characters. I mean, I wish I was going to get more Ray Stevens, but obviously I'm not. I like his apprentice Shinhati. I mean, she's just evil looking. I mean, I don't know if she's going to turn to the light side or not, but she's just somebody you just want to choke. Rosario Dawson was meant for that role. So far, like I said, there's one big reveal. I won't spoil it for you guys. That hasn't happened yet. That we were kind of promised and teased with, and we haven't gotten them yet. So tomorrow's album topic is Pink Floyd's Wall. For me, this was definitive Pink Floyd. I know a lot of people have Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon as the best Pink Floyd albums. You have to understand that I was alive. I wasn't alive for Dark Side of the Moon, and I was only one for Wish You Were Here. And for me, the first Pink Floyd album that I knew and understood who it was The Wall. It was released when I was 5-6 years old, and then the movie came out a little bit later. Our comic book turning point story will be Sandman issues 1 through 8. We kind of covered this a while back when we covered the Sandman TV series, but I am going to cover it in depth because those are some of the most important issues of that genre of comics. And it is definitely a turning point because it really changed the way people bought comics. It was kind of like when we were talking about The Crow a couple weeks ago. The Crow, which is one of those comic books that made you give non-superhero titles a chance. And Neil Gaiman and the Dreaming and everything he created really, really helped along with this. So obviously we're going to talk the strike unless it miraculously ends tomorrow. We'll go with the Rotten Tomatoes nonsense. But yeah, I will be so happy when we don't have to cover the strike anymore. But you kind of have to because it is a thing. It is it is daily news, and I can't really ignore it because it is it's news that affects stuff that we talk about. It affects the movies that we want to see. So yeah, it's gonna be a pain. So yeah, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific time, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link into the chat. So if you guys want to, that one will be right now we're simulcasting, but that show will be exclusively on the Sci-Fi Center's YouTube channel tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Brad Curran from ScreenRant.com will be my co-host. We do not have a guest tomorrow, so it's just going to be talking pop culture for about 3 hours or so. So hope you guys can make it. Yes, I did. I saw that, and there's a couple more stills. I want to bring it up on the show, but I'm still trying to get my interview with those guys, and I think it's going to be a while before I get it up because of the fact that they're literally filming right now and producing, but I'm still trying. But like I said, they went right into production after the original Blue Blood and Honey. Yeah. And there's a new character that they showed, an older character that just has some troubled past, and he has a connection to Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Christopher Robin. So it's going to be weird to see how much more debauchery they fit into another Pooh movie. Another movie I saw out there is Mary Had a Little Lamb. It looks brutal too. So they're basically on their way to destroying all the childhoods and all the limericks and all the tales, man. So yes, the Crow is amazing. And I saw the little picture from Lionsgate, announcing that it had been that it will be released and distributed through Lionsgate. So it looks pretty cool. It like I said, I just gotta wait to see what it feels like when I watch it. I don't want to. I'm already going to tell you that they have a uphill battle, but they don't have an impossible battle. You know what I mean? It is what they're attempting to do is not easy. Hold on. Somebody's messaging me while I'm on there. And thanks for reminding me. I got to bring up my Streamlabs things. Like I said, this is going to be so cool when I when I don't have to do this anymore, when I'm just broadcasting through Streamlabs OBS. And I ran a test stream the other night. You guys can't see it because it was private, because I didn't want it to look like full. But I'm getting more comfortable with it. And like I said, I want to get completely comfortable with it, so when I do it, I'm not screwing up. I don't want to screw it up on my live shows. Question, William, are comic book writers part of the WGA, or do people within the comic book industry have their own union? I do not believe that there is a comic book writers union, and as far as I know, they are not part of the WGA unless they are writing for movies. Like I would assume like Frank Miller is part of the WGA because he's written movies, he's done movies, he's written screenplays for movies. I just don't know if he's an active member, but as a rule, I don't believe that the comic book writers are part of that, because it's technically the Screenwriters Guild is what it is. Screenwriters Guild of America. They leave that S out of there. All right. Jacob McKenzie. Thought on SAG-AFTRA's Duncan Crabtree Island says Warner Brothers $300 million to $500 million loss could almost pay for SAG-AFTRA's entire proposal for the years. I agree, but it's for Warner Brothers and the studios. It's not about a particular lump sum of money. It's about a precedent that was set. If it were just about like I said, a regular, bulk amount of money, this would have been over already. But it's not. It's a whole bunch of more money on top of that, and it's legal precedent that you're setting. Whatever they come out to with this, with these negotiations, that's going to set things up. That's going to stand up in court. So whatever they collective bargaining, whoever gives what to what, whoever gives an inch or a mile, that is going to stand up in a court of law for the next 25, 30 years, or till it's it's bargained again. And you see what we're going through now. So they might, if they come to an agreement, whatever they come to, they could say, you know what, this bargaining agreement has lasted for 5, 6, 7 years. So it's not just about one lump sum of money that they may lose. It's about the precedent that it would set. What tale or fable would you destroy by making it rated R, William? It's a really good question. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I'd Cocaine Bear it up. He also said, if Wall Street analysts, I'd be questioning the logic and approaches of these negotiations and what the companies are bringing. Well, that goes without saying, because the studios are bringing garbage to the negotiation table. They're not good. They're not negotiating in good faith. But like I said, it's not about a particular amount of money that they're losing at any given time. It's the precedent that once they do whatever they're going to do, you will be able to hold. That will be that's a contract. So that's set in stone. So this is something that could last forever, or shape how they collectively bargain in the future. Because even if they only did a 5-year collective bargaining agreement, in 5 years from now, they're not going to go back. You're going to use this as a starting point going forward. So it's, to them, it's not about the bags of money that they're losing. It's about the power and leverage they would give up, and a lot of the numbers and stuff that they would have to bring to the table. All right, WGA released a statement encouraging the studios and the AMPB to make a fair deal or make deals separately. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, Netflix is one of those ones that might end up having to do that. They said the studio exec reviewed our proposals, though they didn't commit to a specific deal. They said our proposals wouldn't affect the company's bottom line. No, it's not. It's like I said, it's more about the bottom line, or less about the bottom line than it is, who's going to control the industry and who's going to control the big bags of money. What we're talking right now, 300 to 500 million, $500 million, that's nothing. Whoever comes out on top stands to make a hell of a lot more than that. Multiply that by 20, 30, over the next 5 to 7 years. Whether it be the Writers Guild getting their cut, the SAG-AFTRA getting their cut, or the studios keeping their cut. It's going to be there. How you doing, Vince? Taylor Swift Eras Tour has agreed to SAG proposals and secured an interim agreement. Yeah, because that's really a different animal altogether. That's not really a studio, produced or back thing. I think even know who's distributing it. Taylor and her team came to us. The only way she could do it was the right way. Yeah, she's a big union person. I remember her campaigning down when she was living in Tennessee. Supported unions. How you doing, Anthony Beltre? Safrail, I think it's kind of a bad take. It's absolutely about the conversation of WGA members. Oh, what's a bad take? Did I miss? Hold on, let me scroll back to where we're. The strike, yeah, for the WGA and SAG-AFTRA is about them being fairly compensated. But for the studios, it's about leverage and power and how much money they want to give up in the future. Period. Like I said, 300 to 500 millions is nothing in compared to what these guys are probably going to bring in. Like I said, they're not releasing the numbers. So the fact that they're fighting this hard tells me that the streaming numbers are much higher, and the streaming revenue and the residuals and the PVOD money is much higher than they want to. So for SAG-AFTRA and WGA, yeah, it's about compensation to WGA members, but there's two sides to the story, and one of them is the producers, and they just don't want to give it up. All right, it's not really about the money per se. It's more about ensuring livable wage for members with how much work that goes into that production work. They deserve more. You are speaking to the choir. I 100% agree. And like I said, if we ever pop open the top of what the studios are actually pulling in, and what's actually being cut up, and what actually who they're cutting in, who they're cutting out, and what is actually successful and what's not. So when they say, well, this is not, no one's watching this, we're going to get rid of it. Let's have the numbers up there so that we know, and maybe that particular IP gets sold somewhere else. A lot of the stuff is the narrative. Right now, the studios control the narrative because they control the numbers, and the only way you're going to get them to bring their numbers right is to get federal mediation and a court order saying, okay, if you're going to tell the writers and actors that this isn't viable, I'm going to, I'm ordering you to show me why. I am no longer, the strike's going on for 6-7 months. I am no longer taking your word for it. The judge should just go ahead and say, all right, in order for me to make a judgment in your favor, I need to see the numbers, or we need to see the numbers. So yeah, I agree with you. I think to be honest with you, just look at the rhetoric that's coming from the studio heads. They're not even trying to hide the fact that they are not dealing in good faith. So yeah, I agree with you, Chef Bro. William, what's your opinion on Zazzle says Warner Brothers has underutilized the Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and DC franchises? They want to have a real plan around DC to bring others back to shareholder value. Well, I agree, but he had the opportunity to do that when he first came in, and he didn't. Now, I'm speaking purely on DC because I don't care about Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I know you guys love that stuff; it's just not my expertise. But let's deal with with the one in the room for us is DC. You had the opportunity to do that when you came in, and all he's done right now is cause upheaval in questioning. How he rolled out this entire thing with James Gunn is a huge problem that's not going to go away. I was hoping that he would do a better analysis of what he was walking into and be able to take a logical step forward in order to increase the value of what you already have out there. There's so much DC content that's already put out there that you are devaluing when you do what you did. And like I said, that's not just me talking. That is the math. The math. Remember, I always say, math is undefeated. Math doesn't lose to YouTubers. Math doesn't lose to Twitter heads. Math doesn't lose to fanboys, and it doesn't lose to anybody. And it didn't lose to David Zaslav. They blew a lot of money just throwing these movies out there without a support plan to resolve and polarize your audience and get them going and increase the value. All he really did was listen to knucklehead fanboys on YouTube that screamed reboot. And look what happened. As soon as you gave any inclination that there was going to be any type of reset, you doomed those movies. So the Fortune 500 CEO listening to clowns on the internet that throw around the word reboot like it's candy. But guess what? A clown on the internet can do that because there's no consequences. David Zaslav should never have entertained this. Even if he was going to bring in James Gunn, even if he was going to bring in Peter Safran, you don't do it as sloppily as they've done it. They've really hurt their prospects of success. So now here we are months later, months after he's already made critical decisions, saying that, we need to have a real plan. Well, what was the plan that you had when you hired James Gunn? What was the plan when you jammed up all those movies and rerouted them to the point where everybody was like, well, we took that out of the ending because we didn't want to give fans false hope. That really wasn't up to you. You inherited this. And instead of what you called was false hope, you just screwed people and pretty much deflated everybody. So yeah, when I heard this we want to have a real plan, I'm like, dude, I thought that James Gunn was your plan. So what I want to hear from David Zaslav is what's an update on the plan that he put in motion? Did he think this out? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's going on. Then I misunderstood your point. I thought you were taking the anti-union position. Oh, hell no. No. I am union all the way through. Now, like, not every profession and every job needs a union, but for the ones that do, I am on their side because look what happens. And I always explain me siding with unions all the way when I was a little kid and I watched what Ronald Reagan did to the unions. And trust me, when I tell you how Ronald Reagan handled the airline union and the pilots and all that back in the 80s, has a reverberating effect over 4 decades later. Because that was the beginning. They were one of the largest unions out there. And when he did what he did, he dealt a huge blow to collective bargaining. He dealt a huge blow to unions. And from that point on, unions have decreased in power and influence that they need. Now we're seeing why we need unions. Now we're seeing why we need collective bargaining. Not everywhere needs them, and not every union is great. But you got to support the ones that are. And because, like, look at where they're sitting now. Ultimately, it affects the consumer. If you're a movie-going consumer, you're being screwed right now. Your movies are getting pushed. If you're in the film industry, even if you're not in Hollywood, and you have, you're in all these places where movies get filmed, in the catering industry, and the food industry, and all the surrounding industries that happen when a movie is on your lot, you're being screwed right now. And it started decades ago. So no, I'm a union guy. I don't even believe streaming is doing that well. You are doing exactly what the studio heads would like you to believe, because they are. Disney is doing terrible for Bob Iger. So why the fuck would I believe him? Why would I believe the two guys? Why would I believe Zaslav and Bob Iger about their numbers? That's literally the whole point of this whole thing. They're fucking lying, dude. That's like I mean, come on. Of course they're not going to tell us the truth, dude. Max hasn't greenlit any new projects that weren't on. Well, they can't, because what are they going to greenlight? They don't know how long this strike is going to last, and nobody's going to talk to them about this. There's a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of products and projects and things that people that are going to be announced once the strike is over that are already in place, but we can't even utter that stuff now because we're on a strike, and it would be a violation. So they can't greenlight jack shit, and the actors and the workers and the writers can't promote anything, and we're at a standstill. That's what a strike is. William, thought on Tarantino will be filming his final movie? Yeah. Okay. First of all, stop there. I do not believe that will be his final movie. Yeah, I heard about this, but like I said, him being his being his last movie, he's not that old. He has plenty of there's plenty of a lot of filmmaking left in that guy. WB did great with Harry Potter. I don't know what David is talking about. I don't. You know what? I don't know what David is talking about anymore. This strike really paints him in a different light for me. Like I said, still better than what we had before because they were completely clueless. But the way he's handling stuff. Yep. Please subscribe to Sci-Fi Center's website. There it is, right under my. Oops. Where is my thing going? Oh, I still have my thing up. Hold on. I was wondering my avatar was. Yeah, please subscribe. There you go. YouTube.com/Sci-Fi Center. Like, subscribe. Get me up to 1,000 before I'm 70. And I'm getting closer every day to 70 and getting 1,000. All right. Let's see. I hope this isn't true, but I don't even know what the plan is. Well, they're in a whole different mess because twice they changed company. Because if it hadn't been for the AT&T merger, who knows if how they would have dealt with things. But remember, they were all trying to get bonuses from the AT&T merger, and then the whole sale of now 5-6 years later, they devalued the company by $30 billion, and now they're in this mess. So yeah. Let's see. I applied to be assistant to James Gunn and Peter Safran, but I know my ass ain't getting that job. Never know, man. Stay positive. Gran Turismo just came out, didn't it? Yeah, there you go. Once again, this is always going to be my conspiracy theory and what I think is going on. I think that they want to get these movies to streaming and PVOD as soon as possible. The studios will give you that BS that we're here to support the theaters. No, they're not. They want to put these movies on the platform where they get the most money. Even before the strikes, Max only big shows they had was Last of Us. Well, dude, these shows take forever, and that's not true. They had House of the Dragon, which was announced 3 years before. Max feels like a dead platform aside from the trash DC movies they get dumped there. I'm starting to think you don't have HBO Max in fourth because there's plenty on there. No. 2025, midway through 2025 is as soon as the day. As far as I know, they will be legally eligible for that, and nobody's going to. They got way too much debt to clear up before anybody buys them. That's basically toxic right now. You're basically picking up a radioactive company. Who's giving? Because not only are you buying them in a slump, but you're buying their debt. Whoever buys them, it assumes almost $38 billion in debt. So that means you got to restructure your business, gaining business, just to be able to set up a debt management plan. So nobody wants to deal with that right now. William thought of the Nun 2 earned $3.1 million from Thursday previews. Those Nun movies, the Conjuring movies, they all do well. They don't spend a lot on them, so I'm not surprised there. Do I have any particular thoughts on the IATSE union? I know some people that are in it. For those of you guys who don't know, the IATSE, the rigger, the gripper, all the technical people, all the hardline hardware people. I know a girl who's a camera lady. She does cameras, she does the booms, she does all that. I don't think that they are on strike, but once again, other than the directors, there's got to be some solidarity there because you can't. If you're a boom operator, you're a mic operator, you're a camera technician, you don't really have anything to film while this is going on. So. Let's see. You're okay. That is your opinion, Fourth. I see plenty of good stuff on Max. Nothing good except a bunch of movies I don't need to watch. Well, what if I need to watch them? And that's been House of the Dragon and Last of Us is not really a flagship show. I mean, you can't really compare the legacy of Game of Thrones to The Last of Us. I mean, it's a good show, but it's nowhere near the cultural impact that Game of Thrones has. And really, I mean, that's always if you look at it, that's always been the case. And now you're talking about putting shows on HBO and streaming, and some of them will be exclusively on streaming. It's a different business model, but most streaming services don't even have that. Not being ready for after Game of Thrones original one ended, they should have had another one ready because they lost 53% of their demographic, their male demographic when that happened. Now they're still filming House of the Dragon because there's only two people in that cast. Olivia, what's her face, and Matt Smith, or Olivia Cook and Matt Smith are the only two ones in there that are Screen Actors Guild. Everybody else isn't, and they can do a lot of trickery. They can film Matt Smith and Olivia Cook's scenes later at different times. They can still go on. I mean, they can get together for a few months and then throw their scenes in. Gaiety. Oh yeah, whatever, dude. No, like I said, they're actually moving forward with House of the Dragon. The only thing you're going to have to do is if Matt Smith and Olivia Cook are not filming, you'd have to do their scenes later. But all the other stuff, all that CGI, dragons aren't real, so But like I said, it's subjective. I'm fine with HBO Max. A lot of people are. I still think it's one of the best, if not the best, streaming service. If you don't like it, I mean, that's a consumer based decision, opinion. So, but I like HBO Max. I watch it on the regular. All right, uploaded Ninja Turtles. Sure, making sure I'm not missing anybody in the other chats that I have. All right, so here we go. Back to this screen. Dark Knight, do you think AEW will ever stream their pay-per-view on Max? Yes, definitely. And WWE shows their events on Peacock. They already do. All of WWE's events are on Peacock. It's the only reason why I have the premium level of Peacock. I paid a little $4.99 or whatever it is a month, and you get all the WWE events, and it's better than paying me $50 for them because most of the WWE events, in my opinion, haven't been worth that much. But yeah, Peacock already streams all the WWE shows. They get them a week later, but their pay-per-views, they get them that's where they air first. But yeah, I think the next day they because I know there's a contract. Fox Sports airs it live. Like Fox Sports currently airs SmackDown live, and then I think the next day you get it on Peacock, and then same thing with Raw. But because USA Network, I think gets it like right as you're showing it live because Peacock is Universal, and so is SmackDown. So not SmackDown. So is USA Channel. But as far as like AEW, oh, definitely. I think they're working that out right now. I think that's going to be one of the things that you announce that'll be announced really soon. Because AEW wants more, WBD wants more AEW, and that will be a tremendous boost for them to get pay-per-views on there. If they're still shooting, they won't be. I don't think it'll take that long. I don't think it'll take that long at all. Well, the entire industry right now is stagnated, so who knows? All right. So, yeah. So all my major topics that I got on my mind, I'm going to jump into tomorrow night when I'm from my throne at the center. And like I said, I got the Patreon stream tomorrow at 2:00 for all you guys, and some of you guys that are on here right now are on the Patreon. So we'll talk tomorrow. The topics will be up to you as long as you don't get too completely crazy. Fourth, that's for you. But all our current patrons have been invited. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some rest tonight because, like I said, my shoulder is killing me, back is killing me. I'm aggravated because my air conditioner's messed up, and we only had like a couple more 100-degree days left. So, how you doing, Daniel? What's going on? Sure, the industry is stagnated, but what new shows are you looking forward to on Max that aren't ones I mentioned? But well, once again, how many more were on there at any given time anyway? And if you go to the average intervals of the last few seasons of Game of Thrones, if it hadn't been for all this disruption, you would have had it on there. But once again, there's plenty. I don't just watch HBO Max for the shows. There's a whole bunch of movies that I watch on there as well. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And now that it's been combined, I mean, I had Discovery Plus, but I don't need it anymore. So there's a lot of stuff up there. Frasier is number one on my Paramount. I mean, obviously Star Trek is on mine. So I watched Frasier when it was on the air. You know, him and that dog, Freddie. They got a lot of mileage out of a guest appearance on Cheers. I used to love that show. Where everybody knows your name. You always knew it was Thursday night in the house when certain shows came on. Hill Street Blues, Cosby Show. Oops, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I am not on Social Security. Why do I get junk mail with stuff that's like literally, clearly not stuff I'm into? Ain't that damn home. They have a lot of shit nobody watches though, and that's the one. And then plus another thing with the problem with Netflix is nobody knows about their stuff because they're horrible. They don't promote it because that they don't want to put that kind of money into that kind of promotion, which is they want you in and going in there. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff on Netflix that that I just don't watch. But and also Netflix must keep that platform busy. They are, like I can try to keep telling you guys, that is all they do. They have nothing else. They better keep it busy. HBO Max has literally a studio behind it. Disney Plus has a studio behind it. Paramount Plus has a studio behind it. Even Sony, even though Sony is a studio, they don't have a streaming platform. They are the ones. They are a streaming provider. So Netflix has to have that going on. But a lot of the shows that are on Netflix aren't nearly the budget that you outside of Stranger Things. I mean, everything else on there is pretty cheap. You can't compare some of that stuff to House of the Dragon or Last of Us. So I thought it was all right. It was weird to see all that stuff that I watched growing up portrayed like that. I am not sure. I hear rumblings of it. Yeah, I miss Cheers. Yeah, there's you can see there's all kinds of places that show Cheers. Norm sitting there. Get those two. John C. Reilly was nailed Dr. Buster on range time. Yes, he has. The guy who plays Pat Riley has too. Wednesday, One Piece, the Jamie Foxx vampire. You can't even name the vampire show. They cloned Tyrone already. Lips. These are okay. It does well. Once again, one of them is a studio with multiple revenue streams that doesn't have to go at that pace, and the other one is not. And when's the last Wednesday episode? I'm not watching One Piece. Don't care to watch it. So that's those things that you brought up. One Piece is not universally acclaimed. I'm pretty sure it has a fan base, but it ain't Game of Thrones. It ain't Last of Us. And that Jamie Foxx, the fact that you can't even name what the hell it is. I mean, come on. And guess what? Outside of Wednesday, what if that stuff I don't watch, I don't care about? And there's stuff on HBO Max I do. You see, not everybody's going to watch and like the same thing. The biggest Netflix disappointment was the cancellation of Glow. It should have had a proper conclusion. Yeah, that's like I said, they blow through stuff. Huh? How you doing, Jordan? Yes, please like and subscribe. Woohoo! Enjoying all the Patreon and all that stuff too, so we can watch Howard the Duck. All right, Godzilla -1 and Monarch series look better than MCU stuff right here. That I will agree with. It was William's birthday the other day. Let's all celebrate by making him watch Howard the Duck by signing up for Patreon. If we can get 20 by September 13th, this will happen. Like I said, I don't know about you guys. All right, I don't think it's going to happen, but hey, I could wake up tomorrow with 20. Okay, great. I've forgotten more about Game of Thrones than I ever knew about One Piece. Yeah. I knew this all along. Plus, we'll discuss that tomorrow. See, you can't use yourself. Other people might like it, but once again, I can flip that back on you. Other people might like the stuff that you're dogging on HBO Max. And the fact that you watched it doesn't qualify your point either. You just listed a whole bunch of stuff I'm probably never going to watch, dude. I have no intentions or plan to watch One Piece. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff on my HBO Max list that you have no intentions or plans to watch too. That's okay, but that doesn't mean, and I have all streaming services. So it's not like, I watch them all and I picked HBO Max as the best one for me. William, Chiefs should give my homeboy 10 years $1 billion. Well, he's damn near close to it now. Once again, that is subjective. That is your opinion. Best thing about Netflix right now is all the monthly pipeline libraries on Netflix. And like I said, I'd rather be punched in the nose than watch any of that. But I'm not a Monty Python fan. This was me reversing on you when you said same bad. But once again, it was me reversing on you. You don't have to like HBO Max. I mean, I like Netflix, but I wouldn't give up Netflix over HBO Max. It's a personal preference. And they're doing just fine. You don't have to put out 20 million things a week. Because like I said, they are process their stuff through the studios and use that. Netflix is the studios. They have no distributor. They and a lot of the stuff on Netflix, like I said, doesn't get watched. Okay, Yorichi. Yorichi Safran. William, you're sounding like a lot. I don't want to use it. It doesn't matter what you guys think of what I think of Max. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think you think of Netflix. If you love Netflix, that's not a determination I can make for you or that Fourth can make for me. It doesn't matter about a shield I prefer Max over all the streaming services I have, and I have them all. I have Apple. I have all of them. I have Netflix. I have Paramount. I have them all. It's important for what I do on both levels of life. I prefer HBO or Max. That's not a shill. A shill would be defending stupid stuff that they do, would be defending stupid stuff Warner Brothers does, and some of the cancellations. That's a shill. I like HBO Max more than the other streaming service. That's just an opinion. That's just a preference. That's not a shill. I mean, a shill would be like, the David Zaslav is right when he says that HBO Max is this and that. I just went after the guy about the whole what his plan for DC was and some of the stuff that he has on his content. That's not a shill. Now, but before he even took over, I liked HBO Max. So that's not a shill. That's just I like it. Like I said, and if you guys like Paramount Plus, if you guys like Apple Plus, you guys think it's better, that is your prerogative. But that's not me being a shill. There's more for me to watch on HBO Max. Fourth and Max showed Johnny Depp's daughter, and The Weeknd called The Idol got canceled. It should have never been greenlit, to be honest with you. Tubi promotes their stuff better than Netflix. Yeah, and Sony does have their own streaming service. It's called Crackle. Yeah, Did they put a lot on Crackle though? Because I know that they'd rather sell it to another studio or another streaming service for more money. But all right, there are tons of things that get watched on Netflix. Stuff you and I barely hear about has a huge fan base. Max needs to step it up. That is your opinion, and we're not changing each other's minds. You know, it's not like I'm dropping Netflix or something like that. I have them all. I think for my money, Max is better. And there's just a bunch of stuff on Netflix I just don't watch. There's a lot of garbage on Netflix. But if you like it, great. That show, The Idol, just didn't have a story. It just didn't have a good plot. I mean, it just all it was sex appeal. There wasn't much to the show. I agree with this, but like I said, if somebody wants to claim Netflix is better, that's cool. It's your money. That is, yes, that's a preference. You can. It's an opinion. They don't, and I just kept telling you, folks, they don't really need one for what they are. Netflix has to have one. That's all they are. If Max brought back Real Sex and Taxi Cab Confessions, oh Lord. And Spawn animated series, it would do gangbusters. I don't know about the Spawn animated series as much. Real Sex and Taxi Cab Confessions, I don't know. I mean, those are kind of staged. See, yeah, okay, all right. William, let's be honest, HBO is the king of television and Warner Brothers is stupid to do. Yeah, now that's stupid. Now, if I were a shill, I would be defending that nonsense. Why you took HBO, one of the most famous names that when you hear that static, you know good stuff is coming, credibility, and you took that away. Now, if I was a shill, that's where I would be. I would be, you know what, that was a great idea. Salazar has got a long view. No, I said that was stupid immediately. I still think that's stupid. I'm surprised the shareholders let them get away with that. Dark Side, yeah, Spawn animated series, with the bombs, Taxi Cab, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember Taxi Cab. I remember some weird stuff about that show. Like I said, I have Netflix, and I think I have the higher tier on it. Like I haven't, I watched some stuff on it, but I find myself watching the other streaming services more. And that's not a knock against Netflix, and but like I said, I don't think the comparison to their output should be made to HBO Max. It's apples and oranges. Yeah, we talked about that last night. You know what? From everything I can understand about the case, good riddance, man. All right. Max has Harley Quinn riding a penis rocket. Oh, well, there's that. Okay, now you're losing me, Fourth. The name change to Max actually makes sense to me. HBO is an adult-oriented programming. When you think, okay, but then you don't mess with HBO Max. If you wanted to separate it and do something that was more family-friendly, then you create another streaming service. But Max, I mean, it's just, like I said, Max doesn't make itself appealing to a broader fan base. That sounds stupid. Even younger people know what HBO is. I don't know. When you spend 50 years with that kind of branding, you just don't unscrew that. That's just dumb. But yeah, you know what? The content is still the same, so who cares? When I think HBO, I don't think that's where my kids find Adventure Time. So what do you think of when you think of Max? That just sounds stupid. I mean, at least go with Warner Max. I mean, the Warner Brothers symbol has been on every damn Bugs Bunny cartoon in existence. I mean, you just went with Max. You had a choice between HBO Max or Warner Brothers Max, a brand that's been around 100 years and another brand that's been around for nearly 50, and you chose neither, and you chose Max. That's just dumb. I think that, kind of goofy. Hey, let me know if I pronounced your name right, because is that an I? Is it Yorolchi? Is that an I? It's an I. Novici? So I soft one. I got the soft one part right, but let me know if you're still in the chat. Let me know because, like I said, I really want to work real hard to pronounce people's names, especially if that is your real name. So let me know. All right, let's see. Yeah. He's done, man. He's finished. Max sound fine. No, it doesn't. Sounds like shit. Warner Max sounds better, but everything under HBO umbrella, HBO has 50 years and where you went to. No, you went. Well, like I said, I did not agree with him with the changing of it. If you were going to change it, Warner Max would have been better. And then have HBO under that umbrella. But what they did, they chose the worst decision out of all of them. But man. Question, William, which do you prefer, The Shining or Silence of the Lambs? Silence of the Lambs, hands down. I was never a big fan of The Shining. I was a bigger fan of Doctor Sleep, its sequel, than I was of The Shining, the original movie. I think they should have called it Warner Max and not HBO Max, only because HBO is a premium channel. HBO Max was originally meant to be Warner Brothers streaming service. Yeah, and remember for a while, especially when they were doing the original promo for Zack Snyder's Justice League, there was a Warner Max logo, and I don't know why they killed that, because that would have been better. That would have been their own independent streaming studio. They've made a lot of very questionable decisions since, in the last, maybe even before the Zaslav regime, obviously, but even after he's taken over, there's just been some decision making. I'm like, it's leaving scratching my head. But hey, you're thinking of Climax for adult, aka Skinamax, where basically Cinemax and Showtime. It's they're wearing clothes less. I mean, it's when they're wearing clothes is when you should be shocked. William, there's some images of Blood and Honey too when he looks way better with the prosthetics and actually had claws this time. Yes, I saw that, and that's what happens when you get $5 million or whatever million. I think he's got like 5 times the budget. So I'm looking for some Oscar worthy stuff. Come Blood and Honey too. Damn it. Yeah, just destroying people's childhood across the board, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. My massage shirt getting up to my upper back. There it goes, popping it. Yeah, we can talk NFL. Like I said, that was I love that game the other day. I mean, I think I've said it before the season. I think the Detroit Lions they're going to win that division. I don't know how far they'll go, but last year they had a winning record and missed the playoffs. So. And I don't think the Chiefs will be harmed by this. They're going to ruin Blood and Honey with money. I'll have to wait and see. How did HBO Max lose further? Oh no, subscriptions. The subscriptions were ahead of what they wanted them to be. Yeah, HBO Max is profitable. Warner Brothers wasn't. I heard her, and I was watching another show. I think it was ACS, The World's Finest. They had another girl up on the screen too that they said was reported to. Yeah, I know about the second season of that show. There's like creepy stuff that goes on in the second season of that show. It's kind of weird for a video game. Yeah, but you know what happens after they do that, Azteca. Sorry, I jumbled that question. I think I got it, though. I think I understood what you meant. Did you know that Kid Cudi's collaboration with Star? Yeah, I saw him in the captain's shirt today. Yeah, they were showing that. They were showing that on the Star Trek's Instagram page. Yeah, I saw that, and I saw he flipped around in the captain's chair. I thought that was kind of cool. I still got to watch some of the stuff that came out. Some of the stuff that came out. They had a little 22-minute presentation for Star Trek Day. Not as much as they had last year, but and then they had the 50th anniversary of Star Trek the animated series, and a lot of people were pissed off that they didn't mention Prodigy. And I understand why people are angry, but it wasn't about Prodigy. It was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the and they did that at Comic-Con too. Prodigy wasn't the topic. Okay, I'm getting dry here. Let's see. Oh, a lot of Cowboys. Got a lot of Cowboys fans in here. What the hell's going on here? South America's team? Nah, that was back in the mid-90s. That's not me. So I'm looking at my streaming queue right now. Fuck, jeez. I am so far behind. I'm like literally a year behind if I combine everything. Let's see. CM Punk. It's reading an article. I'm wondering where he's going to pile up next. If I am Impact Wrestling right now, and I'm Scott D'Amore, and they have the money, don't let anybody tell you that Impact does not have the money. I call up CM Punk right now and say, let's get this signed. Battle for Glory is in Chicago. Here's this briefcase full of money. Here's your schedule. I need you there. As soon as I hear that music pop up, Impact Wrestling could benefit more from him than anyone else. That would elevate them to a status. Just the merchandise sales alone that CM Punk accounts for would justify the move. So I'm looking at that attitude now. Yeah, because I don't think there's a lot of promotion that goes into that for Amazon. Uh-oh, now we're talking football. I know there's a bunch of college football money that's going to be lost tomorrow. I'm wondering if Colorado's going to beat Nebraska. Oh, they should blow out Nebraska. All right, so go Panthers. Keep pounding. Yeah. And the Cowboys have already been eliminated. Yeah, I saw that meme today. Season hasn't even started, and Cowboys are already making Stephen A. Smith do his dance. He does his Cowboys have been eliminated dance every year. But who knows, man? I mean, will they be able to do it without Zeke? The first full Sunday of NFL season, boy. I need fall and autumn to get here as soon as possible because between the summer and this torrential rain, I'm ready for just that cool kickback weather. Yeah. You know what? I knew a guy who went to the show the other night. CM Punk's merchandise was still up. And they may have taken it down by the night. His merchandise is still on the website. They're still making money off of CM Punk. That's fun, hilarious. Yeah, they're number 22 right now. He took like all his previous team. He took them to Colorado. Kind of jacked up. So, all right, guys, that's about it for tonight because I got a long day tomorrow. I got to get my EC at my store things. I have to do the Patreon stream. I got to do our overnighter stream tomorrow night, which is probably, even if I tried to keep it to 2 hours, I don't think I could. I don't want to hurt the show by cutting it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And, I'm fine. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I got a lot of screens up right now, so that's why you kind of hear me fading in and out because I'm moving my head from my mic, making all kinds of stuff for tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff going on. So one of the advantages of not being on screen sometimes is being able to work on little stuff like that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest, be up, and deal with all the issues that Saturday brings, but hopefully all the success it brings. And once again, here we go. Oops, wrong one. There you go. I can't express it anymore. You pretty much have heard it over and over again, and I want you to keep hearing it until that time you need it, and I'm not here, and you hear my voice saying dial 988. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for being the best part of the YouTube experience, YouTube host experience, and I will see you several times tomorrow.